Hello everyone, Mark here from GiraffePad again. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the Questionnaires feature in your GiraffePad account. Now, we built this feature to give you as much flexibility as possible in building the style of questionnaire that you like to add into the learning journey you provide for your participants. So you can use them for all levels of feedback. So level 1 feedback, the happy sheet style, all the way through to level 3 and 4, where you get the really reflective learning 1, 2, 3 months after the program has finished. You can use them for fun quizzes, for knowledge tests and learning transfer. You could use it early in the program for needs analysis as well, or you could use it to track progress and assess against competencies throughout the program as it progresses. So there's a multitude of ways that you can use these questionnaires to enhance the learning journeys that you build. We've also built them in a similar way that we build the events and activities that you may well already be familiar with, so that you can invite all the learners into a questionnaire, or you can create cohorts of learners with different questionnaires if you choose as well. You can even invite a single learner into a questionnaire if you want to use it in that fashion. There's also a summary of all the responses that you can download and export as well, so that there's going to be many ways you can use this to enhance your learning journeys. So let's have a look at how it works. So here we are in an example learning program, and you can see the timeline with your events and activities displayed here. If we scroll down to the bottom, you can now see that we have add questionnaire on here, and you can see a questionnaire sitting on the timeline. As with the activities, you can set a due date so it can appear wherever you choose on the timeline, or you can leave it without a due date so it sits at the bottom of the timeline. So first off, we're going to show you what an already created questionnaire looks like. So some other functionality you'll be familiar with is you have your editing tools, edit, clone, delete and archive. You can set a heading for your questionnaire, a title if you like. You can create a description for that questionnaire, just like the events and activities. And then if we move down, you can see some of the example questions that you can create. So we have multiple choice questions. We have scored questions where you can score it with tiles and numbers, or with a slider bar like that. You can ask short free text questions where the answer might be like a single answer or a very short statement. Or you can ask longer reflective answer questions where they can type as much as they like to provide their reflective answers. You can get instant feedback style questions with stars or smileys or hearts. You can also have multiple checkboxes where you might have more than one answer that you're looking for them to provide. And here's an example of the smileys as well. You have the functionality, as you do with other functions and the objectives, to move the questions around, and it will renumber them for you like that. And if I come back up here, let's have a look at what an individual response looks like. So this is Daniel having completed his questionnaire. So we had a multiple choice question here. Daniel answered it this way. Sorry, I should say Daniel answered this way with a cross, and it's shown him the correct answer. You can see how he scored it with the feedback. He's not typed much into the free text questions, and all the way down with the multi-checkbox questions down at the bottom as well. And if we come back out again to have a look at another learner's answers, so you can see here that Charlie's actually correctly answered this and got a tick there and has scored it in this way all the way through. Again, more intense free text answers and the multi-check boxes at the end there. So you can see individually how each of your participants has answered the questions, and you also have this box here, responses summary. So as soon as someone has started answering the questions on your questionnaire, the response summary is created, and you can start to see an analysis of all those different answers. So we can see here, for example, 3 people have got this correct and 1 person's got this incorrect. We've got scored questions like that, all the way down. Your short free text questions will appear like this. Your longer reflective answers will appear like this, and you can just flick through all the various different answers that your participants have given. So you can see all the different answers in one go, all the way down to the bottom like this. And this is a multi-check question, so you can see how many responses you've got on each of the answers that you provided onto that particular question. At the top of this page, you also have the ability to print and save to PDF, so you can export this response summary if you want to share it with anyone or have for your own records. And there's no restrictions on the number of questions that you can create or the variety or multiples of questions that you create. So you could have just long form text answers, you could have just scored, or any combination of those questions in there. Once you have created the questionnaire, you can still edit it and change it at any point up to the point that you invite your learners in. You also have your own preview button where you can preview what the experience is like of the questionnaire before inviting all of your learners in, and your answers on the preview won't affect your response summary. It's just for your ability to check through how they work. All right, let's show you how simple it is to add a questionnaire in. So we'll go to Add Questionnaire. We'll select a due date. And click Save. So you have your usual description, you can set a due date, and your questionnaire is created just like this. So at this point, you'll notice down here as well, you have a little reminder that once you've invited the learners, you cannot add, edit, or delete the questions, just to keep your response summary nice and pure for each of the responders. So simply add a question in, and here you can type the question in the box here. And then you've got your options here of the kind of question you want it to be. So if you click on this box, and you'll see we've got short text, which is the very brief answer, that's a free text, long text for the longer reflective answers, multiple choice, checkboxes, numeric ratings, and star ratings. So let's go for a checkbox to start with. And you'll see you've now got the ability to type different answers in. So let me just put some answers in here. And your answers can be as long as they need to be, obviously. Now, if I want to have extra ones, I just click on the cross there. And my typing. And I can choose to have a correct answer, or I can leave it as subjective answers, which is fine. If I want to have a correct answer, I simply click here. If I want to leave it as a multiple answers, I can leave it blank there. And then you can require an answer to the question, or you can leave it as optional. And once you click Save, the question is added. So if we add another question in here, we'll do a star rating for this one. So you can choose the number of stars you have. So let's go up to 10. And we want to require it as an option, but we might actually turn that into smileys. And click Save. And the question is in place. I can move these around if I choose to when I'm editing them. I can also go back in using this question here to edit or delete them at any time. And you can continue to add questions, as many as you like. So let's have a long text answer. That as long text and click Save. And then they get the box, they can answer this in. Okay, again, I can edit or delete this at any time. Now, once I'm happy that I've got all the questions in there that I choose, and you can continue to add as many as you like, you can come up here and use this preview button here. Click on that, and you get a chance to go through the questionnaire that you've set. So how are we finding this so far? I can click as many of those as I like. And then obviously I can type my long text answer in here, click OK, and I've completed the preview of my questionnaire, so I know what the experience my learners are going to have. Once I'm ready and happy to go for this, I can click on the Invite Program Learners, and as always, I can invite everybody in and invite. At that point, you'll notice that I've lost the ability to edit or delete any of these questions, because at this point on, these learners will have received a notification and can start answering the questionnaires. And if I come back down to the timeline, you'll see because of the data I added in here, it's sat at the bottom, but I can add this in absolutely anywhere. So I'm hopeful you're going to find lots and lots of uses for these questionnaires, whether that be for feedback, for quizzes, for knowledge tests, anything you choose to use them for. As a reminder, once you create the questionnaire and invite the learners in, they'll receive an email notification telling them that it's in there. Once they've completed the questionnaire, you'll receive a notification inside your GiraffePad account on your notification area. And as soon as they've answered it, you'll be able to see their individual responses, and the response summary will become available. And as each learner adds in their answers, that will populate the response summary, which you can export or print off at any point in time. So that's the questionnaire feature in your GiraffePad account. Enjoy adding them into your learning journeys.